in business, both the new guests and those who have been here before. 8 years ago, our granddaughter started to come to us before school began. Her grandfather, my husband, is an avid cyclist. And Mackenzie was used to riding her bike too, a little wee bike. At the time, she was 8. And her dad and her grandpa thought it was time for her to move to a bigger bike. You would think that would be easy because she already knew how to ride. No, it was not. She fell over one day in the road crossing across from us and refused to get on the bike again. She just said, I don't want to. I want the bike that was safe. The bike that I didn't fall off of. Why am I sharing that with you? Because you might have a little bit of that in you about speaking. Maybe when you were little, you tried to give a speech in class and people laughed. Or maybe you felt that you just couldn't do it and the teacher made you do it. And you thought, I'm not doing this ever again. And that's your choice. I want to share with you a quotation from a man called Joseph Campbell. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. So if you are afraid to speak because you were once not successful at it, or all of the other excuses that you have, and I'm not saying this to you because I coach people on how to be confident speakers. I'm saying this based on my own experience. My own experience. Prove to me that when you gain confidence to speak, it affects the rest of your life. It allows you then to interact with other people in a way that says, I value myself, I stand tall, I look you straight in the eye. I don't have to look like you, I don't have to act like you, I don't have to have a wealthy, big, huge bank account. The confidence comes from inside you, and by doing something that most people are afraid to do, or many, which is stand up here and speak. And why are you afraid? Do you know why? Bottom line, perhaps you're afraid of being judged. Afraid that when you stand up here and speak, someone might not like you. Or someone might say, I thought she was really smart until she started to speak. So you stay quiet. You think, oh well, I'll just be quiet and all will be well. They'll never know the difference. But the reverse also happens. If you don't stand up and speak, nobody will know how smart you are. Nobody will know about your fabulous product. Nobody will know. But this lady stood up, and we know that she counsels us in traveling. That Ruth Adams has a travel company. What if she sat there and said, no, no? Or what if she said, I don't think we... You know that April deals with funerals. But we also know about her socks. And how did we collect all those socks? Not we, but she and all the people that she works with. Because she stood up and she talked about it. And Janet, God bless her, even with a quiet voice, stood up today and talked about her sewing. And because I remembered that, I invited her to call Leonor DaCosta to maybe have a table at the Creative Age Marketplace. So, what do you get by being quiet? Nothing. Nothing. And what do you get by speaking up confidently?
Everything.
Everything. You get admiration, you get approval, but most of all, you have the self-esteem and the confidence to say, I shared something that I believed in. Your product, your service, your belief in other people. Is it worthwhile to conquer that fear? You better believe it is. When Mackenzie started, finally, she got on that bike, and my husband held her on both sides, and he said, don't worry, don't worry. It didn't help that he said, don't worry, but it helped that he was there to support her, to give her a little bit of confidence. And she's now 16, and she said to me, she remembered this. I'd forgotten. I just saw her a few weeks ago and she said, Grandma, remember when I fell down in the circle, I didn't want to ride that bike anymore? I said, well, I do remember. Lots of tears. She said, now I ride to the park. They just moved. She's in an extended family, which was a big adjustment for her. And they moved to Lambeth, and now she rides her bike to the park. And that makes her feel good. Whatever fear you're facing, and if it is the fear of speaking, I urge you to take a good look at yourself and say, what am I not getting because I'm holding on to this fear? What am I missing out on? You're not going into the cave, and there could be a treasure in there. And if you take one tiny step, I will be there to hold your hand, or somebody else that you choose, and you say, wow, look at all these treasures. I could have had all this. It's never too late. Never, ever too late. So what's my message? Face your fear. And it will improve the rest of your life.